All right. Welcome to Sustainability. Today is Tech Tuesdays, and we're going to talk about the AI advantage for small businesses and operations. So, first of all, welcome. This is Sustainability. We are a community supporting founders of all walks, whether it's non or for profit. We help people get their goals completed, and we also have a new scoring system called the Human Readiness Score, where we help people get prepared for anything. And then we also do governance support, where we help you manage your business from within and also working with the people you impact from the outside. So, welcome to Tech Tuesday. We are streaming live via the Spirit of the Game Foundation and the World of Ability Network. So, let's get into it. So, today is about the AI advantage for small businesses and pretty much teams of all size. We're not just talking about business, we're also talking about your nonprofit, your church, etc. So, welcome back, everybody. So, it's Tech Tuesday. We're going to break down technology into simple, practical strategies that help you grow your business, save time, and increase your profits. So, today we're going to talk about the most important opportunity right now available to small business owners, which is artificial intelligence. So, whether you're a contractor, a home service company, or a real estate professional, entrepreneur, AI isn't replacing people, it's helping productive people get more done in less time. So, what does AI really mean for your business? So, AI is like having a digital assistant available 24/7 that can help you write emails, create marketing content, answer customer questions, organize information, and streamline the tasks that you don't like to do. So think about how much time you spend every week writing up estimates, responding to leads, creating social media posts, or following up with customers. AI can reduce those tasks from hours to minutes. So, number one, three ways that you guys can leverage AI is number one, through your marketing. So basically, a lot of people don't realize this, but AI can actually generate your Facebook, LinkedIn, general social media posts on your behalf. It can also, do the scripting for all your video content. It can also, do your articles. So pretty much, the hunt to create breadcrumbs on the internet is now pretty much done for you. You just have to actually do the work and want it bad enough. So, the second thing it really can help with is customer communication. So, if you're a small business owner that spends a lot of time, talking with people and working with them one on one, you can automate the follow up emails, the proposal summaries, the appointment reminders, the customer service responses. Pretty much everything that a human being would do in your business can be automated. Um, so, you're still going to have that human touch, but you're going to get a running start from that AI. And then many businesses lose efficiency because their processes only exist in somebody's head. So, AI can help you document the processes for the strategic operations of your business. So, instead of just, oh, we wrote up, this how to, or the AI told us how to do that, make it a working document that is the rules for your company to operate off of. All right. So next, common mistakes that you want to avoid with AI, and this is really where we're going to settle in. So AI is not magic; it's a tool. So always review the output before sending it to your customers. So there's like a lawsuit where somebody basically their AI tool was able to make quotes, and somebody went on there and they quoted themselves for a penny, and legally in court they were able to actually throw away that case and get the item back and etc. But in reality, if you create a system and you don't check it all the way and you send it out there, there's a liability for you to actually shoot yourself in the foot just by the verbiage. So the most common mistake is expecting it to be perfect. You need to expect this AI tool to not work at all until it shows you quality. It's not guaranteed to work. If it was guaranteed to work, everybody would be a billionaire this week. So remember, you got to always review it before you send it to anybody. All right, number two, AI does not replace a human relationship. Yeah, you got an AI agent. Yeah, you got a skill, and it scrapes the database and it reaches out. But at the end of the day, are you going to follow up on that? Is there someone else who's going to quantify that data, or do you just got a robot out there just reaching out to anybody, just trying to get data? There is a human element to this. Unless you're some kind of simple service like software as a service, or like a credit payment tool or something, like where people can just sign in and just you make interest. You're going to have some kind of follow up on those leads. You don't want to just have people high and dry. So when you are using automations, make sure that you're able to follow up with those people. If you have time, if it's needed in the sales process, give someone a phone call, send them a text message. If your AI sends out a message and you think it's oddly put, make sure you follow up on that, because you're going to look inhumane. You're going to look like somebody who just doesn't care about their personality, or about their business on the internet. You really want to realize that your small business is a reflection of yourself. So when you send out an AI bot or an automated message, it is very much your responsibility to represent that as you. You don't want people to think, oh, here's the robot. They're not going to want to answer. They're going to hit unsubscribe, or, worst case scenario, they'll never get their problem solved and you'll never get the sale or whatever, purpose. So even if it is an automated thing like an email or just getting a follow-up message, make sure that you remember that you're not going to replace the human interaction. That's something that needs to happen at some point in this process. So don't try to replace it entirely. You want to really reinforce that to make it easier for humans to interact with the business and do it where it's not a stress. Mistake number three is not learning the basics. So the better instructions you give to AI, the better results you're going to receive. So learning how to, ask the right questions is becoming literally a valuable business skill in itself. I talk about prompt engineering a lot here, because it's a career based on just asking good questions and just, knowing how to, I call it network with the robot. You talk to it, you communicate with it, you figure out what its weaknesses is, and you create strong suits. You have to learn the basics. You have to learn, about, AI agents. You have to learn about what language models are. You have to learn all the different product suites for the major competitors. You have to get a good understanding of the basics of this technology before you go out there and try to have it solve all of yours and the world's problems. All right. So the biggest tech tip for the week today is how, you know, how can we choose one repetitive task and automate it? So you might be surprised by how much time you can save by just making a few small improvements. So you want to just kind of focus on this. Like, think about your day. And I always suggest everybody to use a physical journal, write on paper. Think about your day. Write down the things that you get done every day. And now narrow that down and find out what are the most repetitive tasks that you do every day more than once. And then now you're going to catalog those tasks. And then if you're using an AI tool, simply ask it, how can I automate or simplify this process? And you might be surprised by how much time you can save, but really, just honestly, we want you to think critically about your time as an asset when using AI, not just using it as a tool, just a brainless, you know, grift. You want to make sure that it's sending you in the right direction so your time is leveraged better. And so, you're promoting yourself and your company. Everything you're doing can just improve by having more strategy and more thought behind what you're doing. So that's it for this week's Tech Tuesday. If you found value in today's episode, share it with another business owner who wants to work smarter, not harder. And please, I know today's message was very surface level and probably a little bland and basic. So if you'd like to have a higher level conversation about AI, call me personally at my cell number 615-821-9662. And if you're interested in telling your story, we would love to have you join us at the Building Trust podcast with the Trusted Trade Hub. And until next time, stay curious, embrace innovation, and keep building trust through technology. Um, this is Tech Tuesday. And remember, what's fun gets done. Check us out on OurSustainedAbility.com. Call me at 615-821-9662. See you tomorrow.